got some bad news. The price of your coffee is about to go up. Probably by a lot. And as a millennial, well, I can't wait to get blamed for it. I mean, obviously, it's our fault, right? It's the avocado toast again. Oh, or is it Gen Z and Gen Alpha this time? Are they tanking coffee prices with their TikTok dances and their refusal to buy diamond rings? You know what? Let's just pin it on all of us who drink iced coffee in winter and call it a day. But here's the thing. This time, it's not entirely about personal choices. It's not just because Starbucks decided to name a drink the iced brown sugar oat shaken espresso and someone out there is paying $8 for it. This is bigger. Coffee prices are exploding because of a tangled web of climate change, labor shortages, supply chain chaos, and the fact that the global coffee market is controlled by a few very powerful corporations. Oh, and chocolate is in trouble too. So if your happy place is a mocha, well, you might want to sit down. To understand what's happening, we need to talk about coffee's history of being temperamental. It's always been volatile. Prices swing up and down based on supply, demand, and whatever global drama is happening that week. But now, we're seeing something different. Arabica beans, the smooth, luxurious ones that make your lattes taste like heaven, are trading at over $3.19 a pound. That's the highest price in 50 years, 50. And for farmers, it's still barely enough to break even. Why is this happening? Well, let's start with the big, obvious culprit: climate change. Coffee is picky. It needs specific conditions to grow, the right temperature, a certain altitude, massages from time to time. No, not really, but consistent rain. And climate change has decided to throw all of that out the window. Brazil, which produces a third of the world's coffee, has been hammered by droughts and frosts. Yeah, frosts in a tropical country. Meanwhile, Vietnam, the world's second largest coffee producer, is dealing with erratic rainfall that's messing with its crops. It's been hit by 4 typhoons back to back to back to back. And then Colombia, my Colombia, is struggling with rising temperatures that are literally forcing coffee farms higher up the mountains to find cooler air. Coffee plants are not resilient. When conditions aren't perfect, they produce less coffee. And the coffee they produce isn't as good. Imagine if your job depended on perfect weather every day. I mean, mine does. But imagine if your job did that. And suddenly, you're stuck in a cycle of scorching heat one day, torrential rain the next, and frosts in between. That's coffee farming right now. And it's not just coffee. Chocolate is on the same trajectory. Cocoa, the crop behind every chocolate bar, is facing similar issues. In Ghana and Ivory Coast, which together produce over 60% of the world's cocoa, rising temperatures and deforestation are making it harder and harder to grow enough cocoa to meet demand. So, if you like mochas, congratulations. You're now supporting 2 crops that are basically fighting for survival. But it's not just about climate. Even if the coffee survives the farm, it still has to get to your cup. And that journey has become ridiculously expensive. Shipping costs have doubled or tripled in some cases. There aren't enough truck drivers or port workers, and inflation is driving up the price of everything from fuel to fertilizer. And then there's the market itself. The global coffee industry is dominated by a few giant players: Nestle, Starbucks, and JAB Holding Company. These corporations buy coffee in such massive quantities that they can dictate prices, terms, and basically the entire playing field. It's like they own every piece on the monopoly board while some small farmers are left trying to survive with Baltic Avenue and a dream. Speaking of farmers, let's talk about them, because they're the ones doing the hardest work for the least reward. You might think that rising coffee prices mean farmers are finally making money, but the reality is far less rosy. Farming costs are skyrocketing. Fertilizer prices are through the roof. Pests and diseases are becoming harder to manage, and irrigation systems are a must in regions where rain is no longer reliable. And then there's the labor issue. Agriculture has been stigmatized for decades, and the children of farmers are leaving for jobs that are less backbreaking and more stable. Many coffee farms are now run by older generations, and labor shortages mean that the people who do stay are working harder for less. This is where it gets tricky though, because it's easy to say, well, just pay more for coffee. But that's a statement that comes from a place of privilege. For a lot of us, that $5 or $6 coffee drink isn't just a morning ritual, it's a treat. It's a small moment of happiness in a world where everything else feels overwhelming. So when prices go up, it's not just an inconvenience, it's a real barrier. And that's why this isn't just about coffee. It's about the system we've built. We, as a society, have funneled our spending into a few corporations that control the global coffee market. These companies care more about shareholders than sustainability. And we're stuck in this vicious cycle of demanding better practices while also expecting rock bottom prices. It's a system that rewards the very top and leaves everyone else, farmers, workers, and even us, scrambling. So what can we do? Well, first, we need to have a collective conversation about how to make better choices as a society. Supporting brands that prioritize sustainability, fair trade, and direct trade is a great start. Yes, it might cost more, but that extra dollar can make a real difference in the lives of farmers and workers. And second, we need to start holding corporations accountable for their role in this mess. Because let's be real, buying ethically sourced coffee is great, but it's not going to fix the entire system. All right, so what's the takeaway here? Well, for starters, coffee is about to get more expensive, and unfortunately, there's no life hack to get around it. The reality is, the system that brings coffee from farms to cups is more fragile than we'd like to admit. And while we can't fix it overnight, we can start making better choices, whether that's supporting companies that actually give a damn about their farmers, voting with our dollars when we can, or simply staying informed. And hey, if all of this sounds a little bleak, well, don't worry. Coffee isn't going anywhere. It's survived colonialism, smuggling, international trade wars, and yes, even pumpkin spice. It's adaptable, and so are we. Just maybe next time you're standing in line, grumbling about the price of your oat milk flat white, you'll remember that coffee has always been more than just a drink. It's a global story, and you're part of it. In the meantime, I'll be here, running my coffee shop, watching prices rise, and wondering if I should have just stuck to being the voice of a cat food commercial. I'm Jonathan Echeverry, and this was Curious Coffee.